Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's about saving money. It's about building generational wealth. It's about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing and financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars learning in grad school, I give to you for free here on this channel, Financipation. Before I get started, I also want to give a shout out to Killico Solutions. They're one of my sponsors. If you need digital marketing, website development, or something to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they're the best in the business of meeting all of your digital needs, okay? So in this particular podcast, everyone, I want to talk about investment habits that actually work. So from my years of basically doing financial one-on-ones with extremely wealthy people, there are certain types of habits that I see that people can do, and that's what we're going to talk about in this particular podcast, okay? So the first investment habit that builds real wealth is make paying yourself a non-negotiable first priority every time you get paid. So this might arguably be the most important thing on this list, which is why I started with it first, okay? If you are serious about building generational wealth and financially emancipating yourself from poverty, you have to literally make sure that every time you get paid, a certain percentage of that paycheck goes directly into your brokerage account or into your savings account. I don't care whether you make $5 or whether you make $5,000. It goes into a brokerage account or into a high interest emergency fund, okay? You should always deposit a certain percentage of every paycheck into, once again, your emergency fund or into one of your retirement accounts. Do this literally and treat it like you're paying for a car note or paying for your mortgage or something like that. It's literally no different, everyone, than paying down a bill. So set up an automatic payment system where the money automatically goes out of one of your paychecks that you get paid every 2 weeks, every 1 week, every month, and goes directly, once again, into an account that's going to allow you to live with dignity and respect and live like a king when you are ready to retire. So the first investment habit, everyone, that builds real wealth is make paying yourself first a non-negotiable priority. Next, the second investment that builds real wealth is learning to embrace the ROTH concept. So taxes today, everybody, are at an all-time low today. And by an all-time low, I mean the amount of taxes that we pay compared to the 1990s, compared to the 1980s, the 70s, almost all the way back to the 40s and the 50s are at an all-time low. Having said that, the national debt today is close to $34 trillion with the current administration. So because of that, you want to make sure that you pay your taxes today when taxes are historically low so that you don't have to worry about what the tax is going to be 20 or 30 or 10 years from now when you're ready to retire. And a beautiful thing, everybody, about the Roth IRA is that it allows you to pay your taxes today and allows your money to grow tax-free. So you should be utilizing the Roth 401k. You should be utilizing the Roth IRAs, Roth SEP IRAs, and generally speaking, any account that has Roth in front of it. The next investment habit, everyone, that builds real wealth is learning to embrace the Roth concept for all of your investments. Next, the next investor habit that builds real wealth is to never leave money on the table and to maximize that 401k match. Studies show, everybody, that 80% of America's 22 millionaires at some point invested into their employer's 401k and they invested up to the match. In other words, everybody, nearly 8 out of every 10 Americans that are a millionaire, at some point they worked in corporate America. And at some point when they did work in corporate America, they invested up to the employer match. And when you think about it, everyone, it makes perfect sense because it's literally free money. And you never turn down free money. For example, let's say you make, I don't know, $60,000 a year, right? And let's say your employer matches 100% up to the first 10% of your salary. That means 10% of $60,000 is $6,000. That means if you essentially pay into your 401k, your employer will automatically give you $6,000 for free, which means you will automatically get $12,000 deposited into your 401k account. That's kind of like this, everyone. Let's say I walked up to you on Christmas Day and I said, give me $6,000. If you give me $6,000 on Christmas Day this year, next year for Thanksgiving, I will give you $12,000 cash. Name one of you that would not take that deal because it's literally $6,000 of free money. That is essentially, everyone, how the 401k matches. Whatever money you put in, your employer gives you a certain percentage. So my advice to anyone who's listening is walk into your HR manager's office on Monday morning and say, what is the 401k match for this particular company? And whatever it is, match up directly to that. The next investment habit that builds real wealth is to never leave free money on the table and to always invest up to your employer's 401k match. Next, the next investment habit that builds real wealth is to invest into your education and to never stop learning. America is the greatest country in the world when it comes to building generational wealth. Once again, 12% of our population are millionaires. Over 22 million Americans of the 350 million people that live here are millionaires. And in this country, you can always go get another certification. You can always go to trade school. You can always start a business. And you can always go online and start another e-product. Or, once again, learn a trade. In America, you can always hop on YouTube and you can always listen to channels like mine and get better at investing, get better at building generational wealth, understand how ROTH works, understand how 401k works. In America, you can always do those kind of things. And with YouTube and the internet and AI, you can literally learn anything in the United States and become passable at it within a few hours. So the great thing about what I'm calling the screen age, you can always read a book, everybody. You can always go back to college. You can always get another degree in science and technology and engineering and math and healthcare and law and finance. You can always figure out a way to make yourself more valuable so that you can essentially make more money. And as the saying goes, first you learn and then you earn. People, there are always ways that you can be pushing yourself and pushing the boundaries and sharpening your skills in the 21st century. And you're going to have to do that because today we're not competing against the people who live next door to us or even people living in the next state. We're competing against the rest of the world. And people that refuse to learn to expand their skills are literally going to be ran over and going to be extinct within a year or so. So whether you're white collar or you are blue collar, the next investment habit that builds real wealth is to invest into your education and to never stop learning. Before I go any further, please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop new content. Once again, I'm giving you an MBA level worth of investing and financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. Next, the next investment habit that builds real wealth is to invest into the stock market and to do it consistently for decades. If you watch my channel, this pretty much comes as no surprise because at the end of the day, the stock market is one of the best ways to build passive income in the United States of America. Einstein said it best, everyone. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And people that invest consistently into stocks that match the stock market and they do it for decades can easily retire with literally millions of dollars in the bank. For example, let's say you were 10 years old, right? You watch one of my YouTube videos and you get your parents to go to Fidelity to open up a brokerage account for you. And let's say you start to invest into a low-cost index fund that tracks the entire U.S. stock market that averages 12% a year. And let's say you do this for decades. People, by the time you were 40 years old, you would have saved $875,000 into that retirement account. By the time you were 50 years old, you would have saved roughly $3 million with an M dollars into this retirement account. And by the time you were 60 years old, you would have saved roughly $10 million with an M into this retirement account. By the time you were 70 years old, you would have roughly 32 with an M million dollars into this bank account. You will notice in this example that if this person took 30 years essentially to invest to $1 million, but it only took them 10 years to go from $1 million to $10 million, and it took them 10 years to go from $10 million to $32 million. In one 10-year span, this person literally built 3 times more wealth than in the previous 50 years combined. And that, everyone, is the power of compound interest. The next investment habit that builds real wealth is to invest into the stock market and to do it consistently for decades. And the stocks that I invest into, once again, are total stock market index funds that can be purchased through Charles Schwab, Vanguard, and Fidelity. Next, the next investment habit that builds real wealth is to reinvest your dividends and to maximize the tremendous power of compounding interest. So I talked about this one a little bit earlier, but this is one of those things that comes literally kind of second nature to me because I am a mechanical engineer by trade. I do have an MBA and I've taught finance for decades. So compounding interest is one of those things that just honestly made complete and perfect sense to me the first day I heard about when I was about 16 or 17. But as I got more mature in life and in my investments, I started to immediately realize that for a lot of people, this sadly is not the case. So let me break this compounding interest and break this dividend investing down to a science for you, okay? Make it a little easier. So for example, let's say you buy 1,000 shares of a stock in a company that pays you dividends. A dividend is a way of a company saying essentially, okay, we want to share our profits with you because we like investors like you that are making this money and that are investing into us. It's literally everybody a reward for investing into this company's business. So once again, let's say you own 1,000 shares of Google. And Google pays you a dividend of $2 a share, and they pay it quarterly. That means every quarter or every 3 months, Google will literally send you a $2,000 check because you have $1,002 shares with them. So my advice is, once Google sends you that $2,000 check, don't go out there and make it rain at the club. Don't go buy another pair of Jordans. Don't go buy another pair of cowboy boots. Don't buy another pickup truck. Invest that money directly back into the same brokerage account, into the same IRA, into the same index funds that you were investing into prior. And this is essentially a dividend income stream that can literally pay you for the rest of your life. I know individuals that have retired and who live abroad literally off of the dividend investments that they make. And the mistake that a lot of people make is that they spend their dividends when in reality they should be reinvesting this money to buy more stocks, to buy more real estate investment trusts, and to buy more bonds. The next investment habit that builds real wealth is to reinvest your dividends and to maximize the tremendous power of compounding interest. Next, the last investment habit that builds real wealth in America is to start a business or a side hustle and to become an entrepreneur. Everyone, according to a 2023 study that was done by Investopedia, 88% of American millionaires are entrepreneurs, and over 80% of American millionaires at some point contributed to their employer's 401k match. That statistic tells me two things. First of all, it tells me nearly 9 out of every 10 millionaires in America are an entrepreneur. And secondly, it tells me that at some point these entrepreneurs work in corporate America. So for all the fake financial gurus out here like Robert Kiyosaki that trash every 9-to-5 that I find, ignore people like that. And because if 80% of America's 22 millionaires essentially invested into their employers' 401k match, that means there's no correlation between this rat race garbage that people push and this idea that somehow you can't get wealthy working for someone else in corporate America. The benefits, everyone, however, of being an entrepreneur in America are amazing. If you own your own LLC and you have an EIN number and you are a business owner, you essentially get paid first and then you get to pay your taxes. On top of that, you can invest and take advantage of things like the SEP IRA, which gives you an unmistakable and crazy amount of ways you can build generational wealth just from the amount of money you can invest into it alone. Entrepreneurs everywhere and business owners have access to arguably the most powerful retirement option on earth called the SEP IRA. W-2 employees do not have that. That is one reason why I am such a huge proponent of everybody in America, especially my 9-to-5ers, starting a business on the side and getting an EIN number. So lastly, there is no income limits to what entrepreneurs can make. So there are entrepreneurs alive that make $27 million a day with an M. Whereas there are W-2 employees like neurosurgeons that top off around only making about $2,500 a day. So think about a business idea or a need that exists in your community or in the world around you. It's something that you are very passionate about. Go to www.legalzoom.com, get your EIN number, start a business, and work that side business 20 to 30 hours a week once you get home from work. And the last investment habit, everyone, that builds real wealth is to start a business or a side business, work at a minimum of 15 to 30 hours a week, and become an entrepreneur. Before I leave this podcast, everyone, please check out my podcast on the Rockefeller Method 101. I think you'll find this to be very insightful, okay? You'll learn a lot from it. This channel, everybody, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point. Links below. I'm not giving you financial advice in this channel. You must make responsible decisions based on the thorough, independent knowledge and research that you do for yourself. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please check out my website, www.therealfinancipation.com. Please check me on Instagram, @thereal_financipation. Please check me on Spotify, Financipation. My TikTok page is Financipation, and my Facebook page is Financipation. Check out my financial blog as well, Financipation, where I go into a lot more detail about real estate, entrepreneurship, and other things like that. And check out my digital e-products below. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe. Please hit that notification button. Thank you, Killer Solutions, for all of these dope graphics. And it's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace.